Okay. I First of all, I want to start this video with a huge apology. Um I have not been posting a lot this year. I did make a post on my YouTube channel about why. And this video is kind of just going into what I have been dealing with for the last couple years and what prompted me to just stop. Um Hopefully I will be able to have the energy to continue making these videos. I just don't see for now the context of doing so just not happening. Currently, my husband and I are trying to have a second baby. I have a toddler who is 2, so she's going through the terrible twos. And we're just, I'm moving on with my life. Um, when I first started my true crime videos, I honestly didn't think that it would take a toll on me the way it did. Um, I've always been, want to kind of say, obsessed with true crime. I've been watching true crime since I 14, 13 years old. I've studied true crime. Sorry. But what I didn't realize is studying it, watching it, listening to it, and doing videos on it are two very different things. What a lot of content creators are not realizing when they start things the way I have is it's draining, and if you don't have the time, energy, or if you're not used to doing the things that I had to do to make those videos, it's just not possible. On top of that, I was dealing with an extreme amount of harassment from somebody in my hometown. Um, I haven't really been able to talk about it due to the fact that I did get legal involved in the situation. I wasn't able to continue it, so that is another reason why I am going to be talking about it today. So I want you guys to kind of just sit down and take it from a mom's perspective. I don't really know how to word it, so we're just gonna kind of get into it. After I kind of give a little bit of trigger warnings. So this trigger warning is huge. So please, if you guys do not want to listen to this, 100% I understand. If you guys don't mind, for sure, click on it. Please subscribe, comment, give me some support, because this whole situation has really affected my mental health. It's affected my parenting. It's affected so much with my life. And yeah, I'm also going to be talking about some essay. Names in this are not going to be involved, and if they are involved, I will be renaming them due to how small my town is and just how small of a following I have. I just don't really see this going anywhere. So I'm not going to really be naming names, and if this does somehow blow up, I don't want their names to be completely trashed, even though I kind of want that, but not at the same time, if you guys understand what I mean. I don't want these people involved in the story do have their own kids, and I am one of those people who don't like dragging kids into situations, and even dragging their name into something would be dragging their children into things. My family knows about this situation, so they would know if they are watching this video right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of force them to subscribe, so I'm sure they'll get a notification that I'm posting this. Okay. Now that I have that out there, I'm going to start. I want to say about 4, maybe 3.5 years ago, I was essayed by an extremely close friend of mine. I had known him since 3rd grade. I actually dated him for a while prior to this happening. We broke up. We were friends. I hung out with him all the time. I ended up getting into a long-distance relationship with somebody. It did not work out. I forever scorned on long-distance relationships, but we're not going to get into that because the guy is not really involved in this situation. He forced himself on me, even though I had distinctly said no. I did try fighting him off. Nothing happened. I wasn't able to go to the police due to the fact that I didn't really know his information. I didn't know his phone number because we had only spoken on Messenger. I didn't know his address because he had moved around a lot. I didn't even know where he worked because at the time he told me he wasn't working, but I was told he was. So just all these situations just prevented me from going in, and he also did not leave DNA behind. And if anybody knows anything about our kits, they have to have DNA for evidence. And I didn't have, sorry, I have my phone going off on me. And I didn't have the mental capabilities of doing so. I did check myself into a mental hospital. I was there for 4 days. I had an extreme mental breakdown. I ended up trying to end my life at one point, just because all of my past traumas kind of just dawned on me, and it just sent me into a full-on whirlwind trauma flashback. Now, with that put aside, this is not the story. The only reason why I'm telling you guys this is because it's very important to the stalking and harassment I was dealing with that just bled into my entire life. So what a lot of people don't understand about SA victims is there's 2 different showings of SA victims. So they can be very anti-sexual, or they can be very hypersexual. And I was SA'd as a child, and so I had shown hypersexuality over not wanting to, and overall it really affected me in the opposite way than I had been used to. And so what happened was I wanted to act like nothing happened. I wanted to put it behind me. I had blocked the person all on social media. I kind of told him to F off on social media as well. And flash forward about months, maybe a month and a half later, I had met my wonderful husband. He's actually sitting next to me playing video games. But I had met my wonderful husband, and then I knew that when I got with him, he was the one. He was going to be the one I was going to be with for life. And so I did get my birth control out. Now, thank God I had my birth control in during the SA, where I would have been pregnant. Doctors have told me multiple times I am extremely fertile, and if I don't have birth control in, I'm pregnant. That's just how it works with my body. So we got my birth control out, and I got pregnant. While I was pregnant, I had small town word runs wild, right? I had a friend, we're gonna call her a friend, but she wasn't really a friend. I've known her my entire life. We actually grew up together. We were babies together. Our parents knew each other. And there's just some history there I'm really not going to get into because it's not my story. It's my mom's story. So I'm not really going to get into that. However, this person found out about my SA and told everybody who would listen that my daughter was not my husband's, and it was actually a product of this SA. And it really traumatized me all over again. It affected my mental health. It affected my pregnancy. It affected all of the milestones that I was able to have throughout that pregnancy, just due to the trauma of what she was going around telling people. She was posting it on Facebook. She was texting me. At this point, I had only blocked about a couple accounts on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. That gets worse throughout this story. My husband also had an ex-girlfriend. Now I don't really have a lot of hate towards her because their situation is not my situation. I don't talk to her just because of the situation that happened with my husband and her. I don't want to, get myself involved in that, and he doesn't either, and so I'm respecting that. But she thought, I had found a hoodie in our house when we moved into it, and I loved it. Now, many of you guys are going to be like, over a hoodie? And I'm going to be like, yeah, over a hoodie. But she flipped out because I had posted a picture on Facebook, and she asked me for it back. I had tried multiple times, and she ended up bashing me all over on mom groups that I were not on, or I had been blocked off of, or whatever. She was bashing me all up on these groups. And I had talked about it during a annual Christmas party that I throw every year. And somebody videotaped me talking about it. And I'm a very real person. I do not sit there and say one thing behind someone's back that I wouldn't say to their face. Anybody who knows me, I am so sorry. I am not sick. I just stuffy. However, I'm a very real person. If I'm saying something to somebody else, I will directly say it to your face as well. I do not hide my feelings. I do not hide what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure that it goes into what I have probably should be diagnosed with. It's just how I am. However, she bashed me. They videotaped it, and then I started having the harassment. So this was about 2-3 years ago. This was the beginning of last year, or not last year. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry, you guys. I cannot get my head on straight. This was about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years. Wait, no, it would be 3 years. So it's 3 years. Christmas this year made it 3 years. So I got harassed by someone who wasn't even involved in the situation. It's actually my stalker. She harassed me. She called me a bunch of just horrific names that you can think of. She just bashed me. She told me that my daughter wasn't my husband's and that I was lying about it, and that she was actually the product of a SA, and just things you probably shouldn't be saying to somebody. And it just progressively got worse throughout my pregnancy. And then after my daughter was born, we had a CPS visit. Now, I am one of those people who document everything. So I was screenshotting everything that I was going through. I was sending it to lawyers I had involved. I was doing everything that I could think of to do, making police reports because there was physical threatening involved in this. She had texted me that she was going to come to my house and hurt me. So I called and made a police report. However, my state, many states in the US are actually like this apparently, they do not take stalking online seriously. So when I told the police officer, there's this female who will not leave me alone, I have documented proof of this. I have blocked multiple accounts. At this point, it was about 10 Facebook accounts, 1 or 2 TikTok accounts, a couple on Instagram. Sent them proof of this, and they were like, can't do anything. She hasn't really come to your house, so I'm sorry, we can't do anything, but if something were to progressively get worse, call us. It got progressively worse, so I called them. However, it did strictly stay on social media, so they couldn't do anything about it. So I did get lawyers involved. I did end up sending her a cease and desist letter a couple years after, or like a year after all this, my daughter was born. So like a year after my daughter was born, I sent her a cease and desist letter due to this all. But, just horrible. We had a CPS visit, but 2 weeks after we brought my daughter home from the hospital, asking us if we were whipping her around and yelling and cussing at her. We were like, what? She's 2 years old. Like, she's 2 weeks old. Why would anybody even think like that? Legally, they're not allowed to tell us, so they did not tell us who it was. We just assumed that it was her. We also had another report that, like, 2 weeks after this one, telling them that we were living in squalor and that I wasn't feeding her. They literally walked in while I was making my daughter's bottle. So that was obviously proven wrong. My house was clean. As soon as they walked in, they were like, okay, this report is BS. And I was like, yeah, thank you for coming though. I offered you some coffee. And it just didn't get any better after that. I was getting constant messages on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok telling me how I'm the worst mother in the whole world. I'm abusive. Nobody in my town understands why I still have my daughter. My daughter belongs in foster care. They even got to the point where they called my daughter ugly. They said that if they were my daughter, they ended up ending their life because I'm such a shitty parent. Oh, trash parent. Sorry, YouTube, don't take this down. It just got worse and worse and worse. It even got to the point where I was extremely suicidal. I had the thought, well, if I just take myself out of this equation, my daughter will be able to have a happy life, and she'll be able to live safely. She'll be able to live happily without having to deal with this. I did not, clearly, or I wouldn't be sitting here. I want to say a year into this harassment, I found out my cousin had cancer. She was a very close cousin of mine. She has severe autism as well. She's on the low functioning spectrum, and she had ovarian cancer. She's now in recession, thank goodness. She's been in recession for, I want to say, a year, if not a little less. But that just really struck home for me. And I had another cousin who had a baby, and this person ended up wanting to, I want to say, weaseling her way into my family, and she got my cousin who was having the baby to spy on me and talk crap about me and my daughter to her so she would have more ammo. She got to see my cousin in the hospital while she was going through chemo, and I had only seen her twice. She was in the hospital all the time. It was just a really rough period in my family and just in my life. And I remember just calling my mom, bawling my eyes out all the time about how I'm so sick and tired of this person just destroying my life and destroying my family, for literally no reason. I had actually been extremely nice to her. Like I said, I've known her our entire lives. There's been no, I wouldn't say there's been no beef on my side. I've definitely said some things that I regret. However, they have only been in self-defense. I have over 3,000 screenshots of proof of that, so I'd love to post them all. However, I'm not going to do that because that would just be more drama. She sent people to spy on me through Facebook, and I ended up getting extremely paranoid. I blocked almost everybody I knew off of there, including family members that I had thought that they were not, being nice, or they were not being good family members. And just all around, it just really affected my mental health. And at this time, I had started the true crime videos. And while I was doing that, I was getting sent harassment text messages on Instagram from this person telling me that I make shitty content, that I am not worrying about my child, I'm more worried about social media. She said just a lot of things that were extremely hurtful, and I ended up taking a break. I couldn't go on making videos on here, just for fear that she would find my YouTube, or that she would, continue her harassment. At this point, I had sent her maybe 1, possibly 2 cease and desist letters. I had gotten a lawyer involved. They said because it was during, through a free legal counseling thing, they told me they cannot proceed any further, that I had to get a real lawyer involved due to the fact that this wasn't considered stalking. It would be considered defamation because she was posting it all on TikTok, that I'm an abuser, that I am a horrible mom, that just all of these accusations that were never backed up. They even went as far to accuse my husband of abusing my daughter. It just was a whole just chaotic situation, if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. At the time, I was using my TikTok as a trauma TikTok, so as somebody who dealt with trauma, I used my voice for those people who also had trauma. I used it for mom content because I loved to be out there and using my experiences for moms who feel alone. I do that. I still do that on my TikTok now. So just, yeah. I could not afford a real lawyer, so I was not able to continue with the defamation case that I really wanted to do. However, she did end up moving. She moved to a different state. I think it was 2 states away from me, and the harassment subsided. And then, a couple months later, she posted, or somebody posted something about my husband, and it just sent me into a full-blown manic state. I wouldn't say manic, sorry, that's not the right term. I want to say a whole just anxiety, panic attack mixture. And I got a call from somebody on Messenger, and she's like, hey, here's my number, call me if you want. So I had used my Text Now number. I had set one up for my daughter so that she can call my phone and it echoes. She loves doing it, whatever, not the point. And I ended up getting multiple death threats on that phone number telling me that they're going to send the police my way, I'm going to go to jail, they're going to kill me, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And I ended up screenshotting those, obviously, and I called the police, and they said, you need to stop calling, this is just social media drama, this is not blah, 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 blah. And it got to the point where I almost developed agoraphobia. I wasn't able to leave my house for just fear that something would happen to me and my daughter. Anytime I did leave the house, I had the worst anxiety attack. I actually started smoking cigarettes due to this. It was just a constant shadow over my own just life that it took away from everything in my life. I couldn't take my daughter for a walk. I couldn't take my daughter to the park because I just feared that her and her friends were watching me. And that's what I expected. I later learned that that's kind of what was actually going on. She was watching me. She was pretty much paying people, harassing people, gaslighting people into doing so. And she told people I was obsessed with her. And I would definitely say I did take an obsessive stance on this. But my stance on it was I wasn't really obsessed with her. I was obsessed with what she was telling people about me because none of it was true. She used my daughter's delayment as a weapon as well. My daughter is delayed in vocabulary, and she would use that as a weapon as well. And I am one of those people who are so against bringing kids into drama, especially if it's adult drama that literally should not have been a thing in the first place. And she just said the most rancid things about a child. And at the time, my daughter wasn't even one when she was bringing it up. And so I did say something that I agree was out of line, and I probably shouldn't have said that, and I have apologized for that. And it was kind of more or less saying, if you're talking crap about me to everybody who will hear, I'm sure you're doing it in front of your kid. And, one day your kid might say it to my kid, and I hope my kid kicks your son's ass for saying it to her. And yes, out of line 100%. But it was just, at that point, it had been over 2 years of pure harassment towards me and my daughter that I just couldn't take it anymore. Many of you guys don't know, because I don't really post much about my other kids, but I have 3 other kids. They adopted me as their mom, so I call them my kids. It's a little weird to explain, but, it's not really that hard to understand. But I got to the point where I couldn't even have them at my house just because I didn't think my house was safe. I literally found every way I could to get out of my house. If it was to go to my aunt's house, if it was hanging out with friends that I kept somehow, it was just an overabundance of not wanting to be home, but at the same time wanting to stay home because just the anxiety. Like, every time I would start my car and there was a car that drove down our road, like, I'd get the fear of, oh my god, are they watching me? Like, do I have to call the cops because they're gonna jump me? That was just like a constant thought in my head. I mean, my husband and I would go on dates and I would just instantly be like looking around like, who's watching me? Should I be worried? Who the hell is watching me? Because I feel like somebody's watching me, and that's just how I felt constantly. And she did definitely harass me. I think on TikTok, I blocked 15 accounts that were her and her friends. On Instagram, I blocked probably 20 accounts of just hers. Facebook, there's at least 15 of her and her friends as well. It just got to the point where I didn't want to be on social media. I felt like it was such a just heavy burden to even log on to my Facebook and talk to my family or post pictures of my daughter. I'm even talking about this now, like, I know this isn't gonna end well. I know this is probably actually gonna get reported and I'm gonna have this taken down, but I really want to explain why I stopped posting, because I do love doing my videos. I loved putting my voice out there for how I felt about the videos that I was making. And I felt like I took a different turn and a different just aspect on things, because I don't know a lot of creators who do the 1 minute of silence for the victims, and I try to take away from the perpetrators and give voice back to the victims that were hurt in the stories. But I just felt like I couldn't do it anymore due to the harassment and stalking I was dealing with. But I do appreciate all of the subscribers that have been on here and the comments and the love. I know I haven't really gained a lot of subscribers, but I do appreciate the ones that I have. Without you guys, I definitely wouldn't be making this video now. I do appreciate all of the love I get on my TikTok account, and I will be linking that down below. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments, and then, you know, if you guys like it, I might just pin a comment up in the comments with my TikTok account. But I do think that this is going to be the end. I wanted to make this a little longer, but I kind of summed it up, and I feel like I got my story out there. Hopefully in the next year I will be making more videos. We did have a couple more situations happen with my family. We had my cousin move in, and so all of my video making stuff went into my bedroom, and just everything is not hooked up right now, and so I wasn't able to make my normal videos. You guys are actually being filmed for on my laptop that I have for writing, so yeah, that's kind of why I have kind of crappy quality right now, just because I am on my laptop and my computer is sitting next to me covered in dust because I have yet to hook it up and use it. But if you guys are watching this video, I appreciate it, and if you guys have watched it this far, I am so thankful for you. Like I said, I do need a lot of love, so if you guys are able to just send your love down in the comment section, that would be so amazing. And if you guys are going through something like this, I am so sorry. It is the worst feeling in the world, and, you know, cyberbullying is such a big thing, and a lot of people don't understand that it doesn't always stop after high school or middle school. You know, it could happen in the middle of your life, and that's kind of what happened with me. But yeah, I'm sending just lots of love to you guys, and huge hugs and apologies for not posting. I've been doing a little research here and there on topics that I want to do, so I have a little bit of topics backed up so that I can do some videos when I have the time and energy to start filming again. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. If you are new here, please subscribe, comment, like. It just really helps push out my videos to the algorithm. I probably will not be doing another video like this, but if you guys like these types of videos, I have a crap ton more story times that I can do. I want to do story times just because I have such a weird, crazy life. But yeah, I don't know if this will even do well, and I mean, my other videos aren't even really doing well, but I might do a video or two like this. I'm not quite sure, so just, yeah, comment if you guys like this. Sorry, I'm ending, because I am just rambling now. But yeah. Okay, bye.